Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Beyond the Screen. I'm your host today, Ryan Gumm, joined as always by Cole Ballinger and Donovan Lainhart. How are you guys doing?
Doing great. How are you?
Doing pretty good, yeah.
I cannot complain. You are listening to the Elephant Corduroids and their single, You Ain't Ever Tried, off their album released last year. I think it's just a self-title. I do need to check that. But if you like this, link in the description. As always, I can hype too, because the lead singer is my roommate. A live album coming out next month is in the works. So once again, you like them, give them a listen. So we'll fade that out real quick, and we will start the show with this. I do have to specify, because I know I'm going to get looks and a lot of weird eyebrows because of my shirt. It doesn't just say sex, because I'm looking at it, and the only word distinguishable, because the mic is hiding safe, is just the word sex and then the smiley face. So for those watching on YouTube, there was a event here at Eastern Kentucky University called Safe Sex Bingo, where you go into this big room in the middle of our campus in the building called Keene Johnson, and they give you free condoms, and you play Safe Sex Bingo. They give you sex tips about how to play it safe, and they give you a T-shirt. So this is a university-sponsored T-shirt, not just me being facetious on camera.
Sex!
Yeah! Safe sex. Woo! EKU, baby. You look at all three of us and you think all three of them are virgins. But we'll move on past that. I just wanted to comment on the elephant in the room for those watching, because I guarantee you every eye the second that we cut to us at the beginning looked down at my shirt instantly. But with that being said, we'll have a little bit more small talk. I want to hear how you guys have been doing, what you guys have been watching, doing in life.
I'm still watching The Sopranos, so.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm kind of eating away at it. Been really busy, not been watching too much.
Yeah?
Yeah, I ain't been watching much either. I've been real busy, but we got spring break coming up. I have a few things on my list. We'll start watching, yeah.
We'll discuss this later, but I know the next time we come back, Scream is something that I want to discuss, Scream 6, because I'm watching that very soon. Haven't had the chance yet because it's been an insanely busy schedule. We just went through midterms and next week's spring break. So we'll see what we can do about getting an episode up next week. We might have to do one of our remote casts. But if not, we'll see you the week after that. But anyway, I think it's on to film news. So fellas, I'm not going to lie, and me and Donnie kind of talked about it a little bit before the show. The first maybe quarter of the show is probably just going to be the Jenna Ortega and Jonathon Majors casting news, because both of those are they're the two hottest stars in Hollywood right now. Like, there's no one, you walk to anybody on the street and they know those two names. And they didn't a year ago. So, hopping right in, Jenna Ortega in talks to star in Beetlejuice 2 with Michael Keaton and Tim Burton already expected to return. Ortega would play the daughter of Winona Ryder's character, Lydia. So before we move on, I just want to get your guys' thoughts, because I'm super excited about Beetlejuice 2. And we've already seen that Ortega and Burton together is very successful. What do you guys think?
I think it's a good choice. Like, Ryder's daughter?
Yeah.
That's good casting,
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, did we really have to guess who would be the star of this movie? It kind of seems like Ortega's the correct casting.
Right. Well, so if the only person that I would say probably fits better, and you just look at her, and she's already starred with Winona in another series, Maya Hawke would not have been a bad choice to play Lydia's daughter, I should say. They already kind of look alike, you know, they're, you know what I mean? Like, that would have been my other choice, but
It's Uma Thurman's daughter.
I know.
Yeah.
But tell me, look at them both and tell me that you if they were to portray mother and daughter, that they couldn't pull it off.
They'd really do a good job.
That's what I'm saying.
As soon as you said that, I knew who you were talking about.
Yeah. That's who I probably would have fan casted, would be Maya, but it's Jenna Ortega. She's proven that she is a world-class act, and she's already done well with Tim Burton, as I said. So the next Jenna Ortega news, we better be careful, because we might turn into the Ortega fan club, I guess. I hope not. Anyway, moving on. Ortega is also set to play in A24's next film titled Alba, alongside Camila Mendin. Sorry, that should be Mendez, I think. The two characters will be sisters and produced by Margot Robbie.
No news on what it's about?
No. I didn't see anything. I looked it up, and there was nothing from what I could find.
It's A24 and Jenna Ortega.
It's going to be surreal
I'll
in
probably
some
watch
way.
it, yeah.
I just don't know. Has Margot Robbie, what else has she produced? That's my question. Like, how much experience does she have in the producer's chair? I know a little bit.
Babylon, maybe.
Did she produce Babylon? I didn't think so. See, I know, like obviously we just talked about Alba, but like I don't know what else she's produced. What did Margot Robbie produce? Apparently, she's been like in the producer's chair for Barbie, maybe. Nice. What was
mommy.
that? Was I thought that was coming from me. I was like, what on earth? Margot Robbie is a producer for Barbie. So I mean, I guess she's in her production phase right now. Good for her. I like Margot Robbie as a talent. It's gonna be I'm excited to see what she can do behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What do you guys think?
Has she ever done anything A24, Margot Robbie?
I don't think so. This might be her first experience with the company.
Yeah.
A24 just seems to be like the even ground for everybody, though. You can be anybody, and A24 would be like, yeah, go for it. Miss the days when Robert Eggers was still at A24. Those were good times. Some good films. Cole, what you thinking?
I think Margot Robbie, from what I've seen in interviews, she's a really smart lady.
Oh, she's very intelligent.
Yeah, so I think she'll do well.
Yeah, I mean,
that's for sure.
There are some actors that like you hear take on production roles, and you're like, are you sure? You know, I get they have a big name, but Margot Robbie's not one of them.
I think she's a class act.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very intelligent.
Tarantino, Once Upon a Time.
Yeah. Wolf.
Scorsese.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's been around those types of guys, so like if anybody could have had anything rub off on him, it's definitely Margot Robbie.
She's worked with some of the best directors ever.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
And she keeps getting calls. Like that's the thing, is that like she doesn't fall off. She's had a rough year, not because of having a lack of jobs, but because those jobs have more or less been not very good in terms of box office success and whether or not the movies are good. No shade to Babylon, but
well, we've got the
yeesh
Barbieheimer event coming up.
So. Barbieheimer.
Yeah.
Listen, I want you guys to be honest here. Which one are you going to see first?
A Barbie.
Really?
Yeah.
See, like in my mind, if they come out on the same day, I would actually take a second to think, but I have to watch Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
But I would want to see Barbie.
Yeah. Well, get the light fun one out of the way, and then.
Yeah. I'll tell you what.
Masterpiece.
Barbie piqued my interest when they had the 2001: A Space Odyssey reference from the very beginning of the trailer. As soon as I saw that, I was like, I'm intrigued. This is either going to be super campy that it's unwatchable, or it's going to be fantastic. I don't think there's going to be any middle ground.
I'm not sure whether it's centered targeted towards children or adults yet.
Probably both. Well, think about the main audience of who in the audience had the biggest experience with Barbie, and it's the young adults, maybe closer to 35, 40. Like that was kind of like the realm of when it was like super popular. It's still popular now, but like I don't know any kids playing with Barbie right now.
I don't even know what it is.
Yeah, like I would like not to say that like nobody knows from the younger generation, but like it was definitely more popular when we were kids. So I'm interested to see, like, I want to go to see Barbie just to look at the theater and to see who's in the audience. Like, is it going to be kids, or is it just going to be a lot of parents who hauled their kids there as an excuse?
I think it'll be men. A lot of
really?
guys.
You think so?
Oh yeah.
I'll go for Ryan Gosling. I won't go for Mike. No, I'm just kidding. Nah, man.
This is a great sex. I'm sorry.
Continue. No, I never mind. We're moving on. Jonathon Majors. We've moved off of Jenna Ortega and on to Mr. Majors. We have a few casting news for Jonathon Majors. The one that's more interesting to me, Jonathon Majors will play Dennis Rodman in a film centered around Rodman's weekend hiatus away from the Chicago Bulls in the mid-90s, titled 48 Hours in Vegas. Do you guys know about that? Have you guys ever heard about that?
I've heard about him taking off during the finals.
Yeah. So it's like in the middle of one of the 90s Chicago Bulls this is a film pod, but I also love sports. I think, Donnie, you enjoy sports too, right? So for anybody that knows anything about sports, the 1990 Chicago Bulls, they had 2 three-peats in that decade. So 6 of the 10 championships throughout that decade went to one team. And in the middle of that, one of the key players for the Chicago Bulls, outside of Michael Jordan, Dennis Rodman, and Tony Kukoc, or not Dennis Rodman, sorry, Scottie Pippen, Dennis Rodman, he tells Phil Jackson, who was their head coach, he's like, hey, we don't have a game this weekend. I'm going to Vegas. And Phil was like, no. Why would I let you do that? Because Dennis had a problem. He had a genuine problem. But finally, apparently, like if you watch, there's a doc. It's The Last Dance.
Yeah.
And in The Last Dance, Phil and Michael Jordan are talking about it. And it just got to the point where they were just like, we just got to let him go. Because if we don't, it's going to be worse for us in the end. Like, we just got to let him go and have his fun. So he goes to Vegas and just has, like, insane, like, parties nonstop, does not sleep. Just goes and, like absolutely has a time of his life, and then comes back and has amazing games in the finals. So I'm excited. Like I see this and I'm like, dude, there's so much. This is going to be like The Hangover. That's what I imagine. It's going to be like, but it's going to be Jonathan Majors, with, like, tatted up with nose rings, running around. I don't even know like what all Dennis Rodman got himself into, but imagine. So I'm pretty excited as a sports fan. Yeah, it's gonna be good time. Thoughts?
I want to see it. I think it'll be good.
Yeah. How so?
No director attached.
I haven't seen a director yet. All I saw was the headline.
I just feel like it's gonna be wild.
Yeah,
you know?
It has to be.
Yeah.
Cole?
We'll see Jonathan Rager.
Yeah.
Jonathan Majors' range in this. I don't think we've seen him in one of these roles. Or I don't know if I have.
No, I know. Like, that's the thing. This is the most kind of out of left field role for him. Like, everything else is kind of like fallen in like kind of like a chronological order almost, where it's like, okay, he's going to play this and then this. Like, it makes sense. He didn't like have to vary very much. This is probably the most out of his comfort zone, I guess, for what he's done so far. You know, like, he's been villains. He's been like tough guys. Has he ever been Dennis Rodman? No. What color was Dennis Rodman's hair in the 90s when he did that? Was he green? Did he have green hair then?
It might have been green.
Or was it blonde? That was definitely when he was, like, he had the rainbow hair. Wild stuff. Watch 30 for 30. Or just look up Dennis Rodman. The man's best friends with Kim Jong-un. Like,
What do they do?
That's a fact, yeah.
yeah, it is a fact. No, there were multiple times where, like, the U.S. and the North Korea just have had bad terms, and Dennis is like, let me talk to him. And it's Dennis Rodman. Like, why?
What do they actually do together? Like, does Kim ball like that for real?
I don't know. I just think Dennis Rodman is just so out there that they just happen to meet, and they're in a past life they were soulmates. Like something weird went on to make that happen.
Trump likes him too.
Dennis?
Yeah. Oh, no, Kim.
Kim?
Like,
does he?
they hung out.
They
several
went over
times.
there once.
Yeah, but I think that was just Trump trying to be like, I'm not scared of nothing. You know, like, I don't think that's really. This is a film podcast. I have to do that every week. I have to remind the audience and ourselves mostly that we don't talk about. We're not based in politics or anything of the sort. But yeah, Dennis Rodman, yay! Jonathan Majors. Okay, the next Jonathan Majors news. He will also appear in a film titled The Understudy with Spike Lee in talks to direct. The film is in the works by Westbrook Studios, which Donnie said before the recording is Will Smith's.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And Amazon. Majors will also produce the project under his own company titled Tall Street Productions. The film is written by Tom Hanada, Zach Struss, and Tyler Cole, and according to the Geekster on Instagram, quote, tells the story of life imitating art when the understudy of a Broadway production finds a role he's willing to kill for. And let me tell you, that's a log line right there.
Yeah.
I'm very excited. Like I love the thought of Majors as Rodman, but that one, like, just the log line, if not for the log line, I would have been like, I don't know. Like, I don't know enough about it to say anything, because I know enough about Dennis Rodman and his antics to say, okay, that one's exciting. But that log line in itself, that should be what we learn in screenwriting, like in classes, is like pull up that log line and say, mimic this, because it's so good.
You know, Majors was just in the Five Bloods.
Yes.
By Spike Lee.
That's
Yeah,
what we were
you
talking about.
mentioned that,
Yeah, that's what we were talking about, is that this would reunite Lee and Majors in another project, which, once again, it's just another reason to think that it would be a good movie. Spike Lee's a good director with a talent he's worked with before. So, and, you know, I don't know, I'm very excited. Jonathan Majors is quickly, like, shooting up on my list of, like, must-see talents. Like, you have to. Like, I'm going to go see Creed 3 very soon. I can't lie. I can't watch Quantum Mania. I can't do it. I can't. I can't, like, I just can't make myself sit down and watch it. I've tried multiple times to, like, set up a time to go to the theater. and like say the movie starts at 7, I get to like 5:50 something, and I'm like, I'm not doing this.
You can really just wait till it's on Disney.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't seem like, from what I've seen, like I've seen enough spoilers and heard enough people talk about it that I feel like I already know what happens, and it just doesn't seem like something I should pay $8 for when
You
I have
get
Disney
bored.
Plus. Yeah, like,
Oh yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Like I feel like people just see me as like the Marvel trash talker, and I am that to an extent. I don't dislike Marvel. Like, I don't want to disrespect them. High respect to what they've done and the creative, like just the avenues they've gone down and created for cinema as a whole. They've revolutionized cinema. They also almost destroyed it, but they've revolutionized cinema in many ways. I just, after they went down the rabbit hole of like shows and they chose quantity over quality, lost me.
Now they're planning in like 2025, 2026,
Yep.
27 to go bigger than Endgame.
Yep.
Way bigger.
They're
Secret
scaling
Wars.
back too. Like, they're gearing towards that, but they're also scaling back projects. So maybe.
They've got an Avengers film slated for what, next year?
Yeah, I think so.
And like none of the characters.
Yeah.
And whatever, like 19 projects.
Yeah.
In phase 4.
It'll get pushed back.
None of the characters have met in any of these.
I know.
They don't know
It's
each
going to get
other.
pushed back.
Yeah.
Everything will. It's just too close. Especially if they're already trying to scale back and focus on the quality aspect. It's not. They're definitely going to roll that right back in. We went down that rabbit hole because I said I like Jonathon Majors. Just to come back to where we started.
All roads lead to Marvel.
All roads lead to Marvel. Moving on. Here we go. Sorry, I lost my train of thought here. Jodie Comer is reported to be in talks to star in Amazon's Blade Runner series. I didn't get a chance to look her up. That's what I meant to do. I left the space.
She's killing Eve.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. So, like, I recognize the actor. I just forgot what she was in.
She's been in a lot of stuff lately. The Last Duel.
Yeah. Free Guy. See, I find it interesting that, like, the idea of the series over the movie. Like, streaming services, I think the theater has made a comeback enough that it is kind of slightly threatening these streaming platforms. Because now all of a sudden you see these platforms that get all these big names immediately going to series. Because when you think about it, and I think we've talked about this before on the show, series where you have, like, say you have like 8 episodes of an hour each, or The Last of Us, 9 episodes of an hour each, some 49, others hour and a half. You have so much more range for storytelling. And then when you have people who will watch it weekly, like a big thing that, like, I guess I will go ahead and talk about it now in kind of insequential, or not insequential words, it's early, in unison with this Blade Runner 99 and the point I'm trying to make here with this series. The Last of Us, this episode 8, hit another viewer milestone with 8.1 million people tuning in to watch this 8th episode. People will tune in. And here's the thing, too. HBO's gone back and done the weekly releases, as everyone's known for the past 2 months, which is essentially just TV. But they've done this, and they keep getting big views because people are willing to wait. You have some people that are willing to wait to binge the whole thing. You have other people willing to wait to be like, I will be back next Sunday, me included. And so, like, I think what we're seeing here, the reason that all these series are popping up, like another thing we're going to talk about, and I won't go in depth, but like the Creedverse that Michael B. Jordan's creating at Amazon, they're going to have series, like anime series and series, like TV series surrounding the characters in the Rockyverse. And I feel like this is or Creedverse, whatever you want to call it. I feel like this is a direct response to the fact that Top Gun, the fact that Creed 3, which I know I just said Creed 3, but all this stuff like coming out in theaters and making money. People are getting out of their seats to go watch film. And I think that is threatening platforms. So they're going to series because they know that will get them views.
And they're taking these old franchises and just beating them into the
Yep.
dirt.
Yep.
Like, let's put out as much content as we can.
Even Disney is taking an initiative to keep films in theaters for longer. I'm telling you, because the theater, because Top Gun Maverick saved cinema, and people are getting up and going to watch films. Creed 3 cleared $100 million last weekend, I should say.
That's a lot of money.
Yes.
For a boxing movie?
That's what I'm saying. Like, what happens? Jonathon Majors and Michael B. Jordan, they fight. Add in whatever drama. Last 20 minutes is them in the ring. That's the movie. $100 million. It cleared $100 million. Cocaine Bear.
Saw that one. Yeah.
Saw it.
Like people are getting out of their seats to go see Cocaine Bear. I love where we're at right now. I love everything about cinema. Like, I don't want to say that, like, I'm happy that streaming platforms are being directly threatened, but the whole point I'm trying to say here is that, like, everything is getting a series now. It seems anyway. I'm telling you why. It is a direct response to the fact that cinema is winning. In theaters, anyway.
Good.
Yeah.
But there's still franchise films, cash grabs. Cocaine Bear was a cash grab.
You're always going to get that, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, here's the thing that I respect about Cocaine Bear. I've not seen it yet, but from everyone that I have talked about that has seen it has said one thing in unison. There's one common thread. They know what they are, and they don't try to be anything else. They know exactly what they are, and they play into that perfectly. So if you're going to cash grab like that, at least have some dignity.
Yeah, it did have dignity.
It did.
It was a disgusting movie.
Yeah, I heard it was funny. Like, it's hilarious from what I've heard.
You can't watch it for the plot. I mean,
Well, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's pretty horrific dialogue, like horrific lines that
Yeah.
the characters say. Bad, strange, like plot. It's like divergent. Like the different characters, like the different groups of characters, kind of like do things completely away from the whole Cocaine Bear thing throughout the whole movie, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But I did fall asleep. So
You did?
Yeah.
You fell asleep for Cocaine Bear?
Yeah.
So
I missed,
Cocaine
like,
Bear.
45 minutes of it.
Oh, well, I mean, it isn't for the plot. And we're kind of taught our whole degree is looking into things deeper. So I like no judgment there. But like the whole point I'm making, like Cocaine Bear, like worldwide has made $53 million. That's not like a little bit of money. And this is supposed to be a film that's like a spoof. People are getting up and going to see this thing.
I thought it was cool to see Han Solo from Solo in it.
Yeah, he was in there.
Yeah.
What? Hold on now.
Alden
Yes.
Ehrenreich, or however you say it.
Hold on, I'll tell you.
He's a good actor, man.
He was good in it.
Yeah, he really was good in it.
Hold on. I will tell you.
And now they're talking about, like, I see memes and stuff pop up on my phone like, oh, they're going to make a Cocaine Cheetah movie.
Mm-hmm.
The director of Cocaine Bear said she'd do like a meth shark or like something like that. Like maybe it was
Elizabeth
Cocaine Shark. The director?
Yeah,
Yeah, Elizabeth Banks, yeah. She flat out said, she was like, yeah, I'll do that. Because like the internet was like, do another animal. And she's like, I'll do a Cocaine Shark. Like, I mean, why not at this point? Like, I mean, I don't think they should, but like, if they're gonna go all in, at least like, once again, have the dignity to do it. Like, it's like Sharknado, horrible movies, but they knew what they were doing. They weren't trying to make something impressive. They were just like, 9, Sharknado 9. Like,
I'd like to make a movie where, like, you have like an old mongrel dog, like a mutt, and you just feed it hallucinogens for years, and then it talks. You teach it English and grammar and things.
yes,
Call it like mushroom dog.
A24.
It'd be good.
Mushroom dog.
I think a lot of people would watch it.
I mean, I'm not gonna say that like I know who would, but I know a lot of people would. That'd be interesting, just that premise.
Martha Speaks. The gritty reboot.
PBS production. Woo, Martha Speaks. Well, I guess that's enough of my rant about why. I was writing that down and I was just like, another series. And I had to get that off my chest. I know that was kind of out of left field. Anyway, moving on. John Wick 4 reactions, critics' early viewings, have sung the praises for this Keanu Reeves action film, saying it is the best sequel to any John Wick film thus far, and it's the best action film of the decade, is a quote I saw earlier today.
You like those films?
I don't think I think I saw the full first one, but I've only seen pieces of the other ones.
Oh, they're good. They keep getting better too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, like I'm usually not like an action guy, like straight up like punch, kick, ha, like Liam Neeson after Taken 1, can't really watch. But Keanu Reeves in Taken, man, or not Taken, sorry, John Wick, good stuff.
You know, I don't think the first one is as good as everyone says. The third one's great.
Yeah, it's just where like it got the series started.
Yeah.
There's always gonna be that nostalgia.
Yeah.
But I think I'd agree with you.
It took them time to lean into what they did best.
Yeah.
I think.
No, it's exciting.
Like that fast action, he's reloading, and he's like,
Dude, like we looked it up, and like John Wick is trained in like 2 different styles of just like MMA fighting. You're like it's insane. Like it's like the detail. Like when you can start getting into the lore of like how was he trained, and then like it's just like readily available information. Like if you look up like Taken and you look up whatever character Liam Neeson plays in that series, never are you gonna find like the style of fighting he does. Because he just punts, kicks, shoots. But you look up Keanu Reeves and you look up John Wick, like it's just so deep, which is I think what separates it from the rest of the pack of these action movies.
Can I make a little side note here?
Yeah.
Something blew my mind about Star Wars lore the other day.
Okay, here we go.
Why, in Revenge of the Sith, in their final battle, Obi-Wan and Anakin, why does Anakin do a front flip, a double front flip over Obi-Wan before he tries to kill him? Why does he do that?
Are you asking like?
It's a hypothetical or
Okay.
a rhetorical question.
Okay, I better say because like I can answer it, but I want you to make your point.
But you know why.
Yeah.
Why?
Go ahead. No, I want you. It's your point. I talk
No,
too
you
much.
make
No,
it.
go ahead. No,
I
Cole.
want to know if you're wrong.
Say your point. Say your
Because
point.
that's how Obi-Wan defeated Maul.
Yes.
And Anakin wanted to...
He was jealous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was obsessed with the Maul fight in canon. And he wanted to spite his master.
Mm-hmm.
It's awesome, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. We'll see. And also, like, so there's that, the spite. Because, like, he knew what he was doing. And here's the thing. If you watch, to add to the credence to that, Obi-Wan says, don't try it. So he knew it was coming. And Anakin said, I'm going to do it anyway. Because he knew, yeah. But I was watching recently, and I can't remember if I don't think he does it in the Dooku fight. But in the original choreography for the Dooku fight, that is how he beats Dooku, is he flips over him. Just like he did, or tried to do with Obi-Wan.
Wow.
And so, like, that's, like, little details like that. Like, I really wish, like, the original choreography, I found it was on TikTok of all places. But they had, like, the camera following, like, the two stunt doubles as they were, like, practicing. And it was so much more intense. In the original, like, Dooku, or Obi-Wan was never supposed to be there. Like, they got separated in the ship, and Anakin found Dooku by himself. And then they fought one-on-one. Obi-Wan was never there.
This is the Revenge of the Sith.
The original beginning of Revenge of the Sith, the original choreography. Obi-Wan wasn't there.
That's a good fight.
Yeah. And that's how Anakin beats him, is he flips over him, they fight, and then he chops his arm or his hands off. It was so, like, intense. And so, like, when you see that, like, you see him trying to mimic Obi-Wan all the time, like, it's just so cool.
It's interesting how they put thematic elements into choreography.
I know.
Like that.
I know.
Like, wow.
Donnie, you're thinking of something. I can see it.
No, I didn't think about that. That's how he killed Darth Maul.
Yeah.
I never thought about that.
He, like, lunges up, flips, and chops him in half.
That's
You know,
awesome.
but the thing about it is Darth Maul didn't expect it.
No.
But, like, Obi-Wan, like, told him, like, don't try this.
Yeah.
Like, Anakin, like, you really shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
You know?
Honestly, yeah. Obi-Wan legitimately was like, I know exactly what's coming next. Do not. And it's so sad, too. This guy, I guess, because I could talk about Star Wars all day. There was a moment where Obi-Wan could have turned Anakin back. Like, early in the fight. Like, when they're hovering over the lava. And I don't remember the exact line, but he talks about being like, the line Obi-Wan says is, then you are lost. When they're hovering over and Anakin's, like, talking to him about the dark side and stuff. There was a moment in that where Anakin was, like, almost, like, pleading with him to, like, see his point of view. And if Obi-Wan would have tried to guide him back instead of being so hurt about what would have happened, Anakin would have turned back. But because Obi-Wan essentially condemned him because he was hurt of what had happened, like, rightfully so. Like, there's nothing wrong.
From my point of view, the Jedi are evil.
Yes.
Then you are lost.
Yes. Then you are lost. Like, before that, like, he's not trying to say, like, I think completely that you are evil. He's like, this is just what I think, almost. And if Obi-Wan would have taken the objective, almost straight up Jedi point of view and been like, no, this is why you're wrong, and kind of explain to him how he was misled, instead of condemning him and saying, then you are lost, there's a big theory and a good chance Anakin would have turned back.
But Obi-Wan's like straight reverence to the Jedi code.
Yep.
And that's what Anakin was against, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what he grew to disdain. And Obi-Wan, I think if Obi-Wan was in the right state of mind, he would have done the right thing. But because he was so hurt, because this is the one person outside of Qui-Gon that he genuinely loved. Like he loved Yoda as essentially his pseudo master after Qui-Gon died. I'm blanking on the names. Satine, thank you. Yeah. He loved Satine. He just couldn't really pursue it. Or so we say. I think he did. I just think he did it when no one was looking. But anyway, which is why he turned his eye on Anakin and Padme. But anyway, he loved Satine, then she died. So really all he had left was Anakin, and he turned. Real sad, when you think about it. Not that anyone was doubting that, but
I mean, like, from my point of view, the Jedi are evil, and then Obi-Wan could have been like, yeah, kinda, but like, it's what we do, man.
Yeah.
Like, chill.
Yeah, like if he would have explained like you have a point, but because like honestly, the Jedi were misled. Like they were far from what they should have been. If he would have been like, yeah, you're right, but this is why what you're doing is wrong. Like think about what you've done. You've killed younglings and murdered innocent people. Like you don't think that that's the greater evil here? If he would have said something to that effect, oh, Anakin would have been like, you're right. You're right. And then we never would be having this conversation. We talk about it as if this was actual events that happened.
Yeah, they went
Circa 1948.
Yeah, 2013.
Yeah.
We were in middle school. We
Yeah.
saw it happen.
Oh my God. Yeah, we're watching CNN's like Obi-Wan chops leg off of Anakin Skywalker. All right. We're finally moving on. Every week we have something to say about James Gunn.
There's a classic. This is like a we won't dwell on this for long, but I want an answer. There's a classic like joke where it's like, do you think the cast of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia could, if they have an hour to prepare, could they kill Darth Maul?
Where is this being asked? Is this like a Reddit?
I'm online.
This sounds like a Reddit question.
Yeah. Maybe 4chan. But if there was like a cast of a sitcom that you would like that you would think would be better, who would it be?
Then Always Sunny?
Yeah.
I mean, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, I guess. They're cops.
It's pretty good.
Give them an hour. How long, an hour?
Yeah.
Give them an hour to prepare, to have full knowledge of what's going on. And I think that they could do it. You kidding me? Terry Crews, man. You don't throw him first, but you give him a surprise, like allow Maul to not know, and Terry just runs up. It's over.
That's pretty smart.
I say Charlie could do it just single-handedly.
Yeah. Charlie's force sensitive.
Yeah.
I think Dennis would just like make him feel bad and go home.
He chooses the light. Darth Maul just converts to be a Jedi.
I don't want to be like these people at all.
Oh, that's awesome.
These are bad people.
Okay, so do you have another one before we move on? Do you have
Maybe the Scooby Gang.
the Scooby Gang?
Yeah.
They're pretty. Yeah, that's a great answer actually. Which version of the Scooby Gang? Like the original live action with
Like what's new Scooby Doo?
what's new Scooby Doo? Okay, respect. Okay, moving on. We always talk about James Gunn because that man is always talking about something. So James Gunn recently discussed the internet theories and claims that Henry Cavill was cast in the Creature Commandos as Frankenstein. And I thought his comments were really kind of telling of what he feels about the Cavill back to DC communications. Gunn rebukes the claims that Cavill was in talks to voice Frankenstein. He, quote, completely false. We have our Frankenstein, our first choice, and it's not Henry. We never discussed with him. Gunn did clarify later, stating, I've said in the past we've discussed other roles with Henry. Just Frankenstein is not one of them. Kind of seems like he's taking a shot here. I mean, that sounds really aggressive. I mean, I think more towards the audience, but like if you read it and kind of think about it, it does seem kind of like it's at Henry a little bit. Mm-hmm. He's like, oh yeah, we have our Frankenstein. It was our first choice, which wasn't Henry actually.
A little aggressive.
Yeah, like definitely more towards the audience, but that's a little nudge to Henry, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I think I know like 13 people that look way more like Frankenstein than Henry Cavill.
Well, it's a voice actor. It's not going to be like physical portrayal.
13 people.
13 people. Who are the 13 that look like Frankenstein?
Derek Daniel.
Derek Daniel. I need to put up a picture. What's the time code for this? I'll put up a picture of Derek so you guys can see. He is 6'9". Go back and watch Subs in 15 if you want like to hear him speak, because he could portray Frankenstein. 34 minutes in, Derek Daniels' face will pop up, potentially, theoretically, maybe. But yeah, I read that and I was like, ooh, that seems pretty aggressive. Donnie, you've not spoke a lot today. I want to hear what you have to say.
About this?
Yeah, about anything.
Yeah. It does seem like he's taking a little shot at Cavill. There's been like a bunch of stuff come out about them.
Why do you think?
What do I think?
Yeah.
Completely false.
Yeah.
We have our first choice, and it's not him.
Right, but why would he go after Cavill? Not why would he say that? Like, why would he use that?
He didn't fire him, did he? He just didn't hire him.
Yes, that was what Gunn said.
Okay. I don't understand why they didn't pick him back up. Did anything come out about that?
I mean, it just seems like Gunn wants just a fresh start. Like he wants like a young Superman. He's writing like a complete separate. So I don't know. Maybe you just don't want the baggage of what was the Snyderverse because people would immediately associate Cavill with that. But I don't know. Cole?
Cavill is Bond. Cavill was always Bond. He was born to be Bond.
You think so?
Oh, yeah. Look at a picture of him. He looks just like James Bond.
I know. I'm not saying you're wrong. I just think it's going to Aaron Taylor Johnson. Did I say his name right?
Like that.
Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Yeah, I better say I did say his name right. I'm so bad at mixing those up. Like Anya Taylor-Joy. I always say Anya Joy Taylor. I don't know why. I'm so bad for that. But yeah.
What's your middle name, Ryan?
Lane.
Oh, Ryan Gumm Lane.
Yeah, like I mean, it's weird, but like, you know what I mean? Layne.
Aaron Taylor Johnson. He's gonna be a good Bond too.
He will be.
Yeah, he looks like Bond.
He's young. That's like the big
He is
thing.
young,
He's
yeah.
young. Like that's like the biggest thing against like the Idris Elbas and the Cavills is that they're a little not old, but like you have to start in the center of their story, which is I don't think MGM wants to do. I think they want to go from the beginning, like they did with Craig.
Mm-hmm.
You know his wife is like 30 years older than him.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Really?
Yeah, he's married to like a kind of an old lady,
It's like
She
Hugh
worked with
Jackman.
him on a project.
Hugh
I'm pretty
Jackman's
sure.
wife is like 15 years older than he is. See that a lot in cinema, actually.
Everybody's like, Hugh Jackman is such a saint. He didn't divorce his wife because she's too ugly. He stayed with her. She's not an ugly. She's a pretty lady.
I very say like
very
who's saying she's ugly?
I think a lot of people. I think it's like they're saying like, he's a great looking guy and his wife is
His current wife.
kind of mid, yeah. But
Well, because she's older than he is by a good amount, actually. Hold on. His spouse is Deborah Lee Furness, and she's 67, and Hugh is 54.
Okay, so
She's 13 years older than he is. I don't think she's a pretty woman.
Aaron Taylor Johnson's wife is 56 and he's 32.
Like that's a bigger gap.
Yeah.
Like I mean, I'm not judging. You know, do what you like. It's fine. They're adults. Like, do what you got to do. But yeah, that's it. That's interesting. How old is he? 35?
32.
32. Wow. That's crazy. He's only 10 years older than me. Yeah, I know. I could have grew up with that guy. 10 years older than me and Cole, I think.
how old are you?
22.
22, yeah.
Yeah. Wild stuff. 10 years older, he's 32. Cool. How old are you?
It's early.
No, it is early. It's a whole 11:44. I'm sorry. Anyway, back to film. Yeah, so I just don't see where this heat seems to be coming from. Maybe it is more towards the fans, and I'm just reading too much into it. But it did seem like he was like, yeah, Cavill was never our first choice. Just really, really odd. Next up, this one was interesting. Going back to Marvel, all roads lead to Marvel. John Bernthal seems to have cryptically confirmed that he is returning to the character of the Punisher.
Thunderbolts.
Yeah, or Daredevil.
Oh, yeah.
Or both. I know I read before that Bernthal said he would not return unless his Punisher could be what it was at Netflix, which was gory.
Brutal.
Yeah. Which is kind of, listen, if they keep the same Daredevil and Punisher, I might have to come back. They did say that Daredevil was going to be a little bit tame. Like, it's going to be the same thing, essentially, but, like, it's going to be a little bit less. But Bernthal was staunch. He's like, if you guys take anything away from what Punisher was, he's not Punisher, and I won't play him.
Well, this Deadpool movie is going to come out. It's rated R.
That's rated R,
And
yeah.
people are going to, it's going to make so much money. It's going to reboot the franchise, I think. Reinvigorate.
Yeah.
They're going to just start making R-rated movies.
There's a theory that Hugh Jackman, speaking of Hugh, I'll come back to Hugh Jackman, that he's going to play multiple different iterations of Wolverine. That he's not just going to be one. That, like
Old Man Logan.
yeah,
and-
like he might wear the yellow suit and yeah. So like everything that you saw like in Spider-Man is like reverberating, and that's gonna be like a direct like relationship to Daredevil, which is gonna be rated R with Hugh Jackman. So I'm very intrigued by all this premise. Like the idea that the Punisher can be the Punisher. We get a rated R Daredevil who obviously interacts with the Wolverine of our childhood. And we get the Fantastic Four, a new Wolverine, all these really cool, like the X-Men. I'm excited to see what the MCU does with the X-Men. Like, I will be back on the MCU bandwagon when they start unrolling these I guess these things that I grew up with that I've been waiting to see since I was like 14.
We'll probably be bald by then.
I know.
Not me.
Not me, says Donnie. They've already pushed back, like, again, they pushed back the Fantastic Four. Like, just get it rolling, bro.
And they say that they have no, like no intentions to cast them before Kang Dynasty.
See,
and they're not going to be in Kang Dynasty.
It worries me because if things like this that have this type of production hell, they've lost a director, hired a new one, casting's taken forever. Like, those films rarely ever are, like, fantastic. Like, when was the last time you heard of a film having a production hell and you're like, that's fantastic. Like, it's a good film. There are a few that turned out to be pretty good, but production hell is a legit, like, problem. And I'm starting to think that that's what's going on at Marvel with Fantastic Four.
Is Krasinski going to play the lead?
I don't think so.
Huh. What was the point of that cameo then?
Fan service. Because, like, that was an alternate reality. You could do whatever you want in a different universe.
Yeah.
It don't matter.
A lot of pretty decent movies that were in production hell.
Yeah?
Mad Max Fury Road was they were trying to make that one since '95.
Yeah.
We got what was the first one? Alita Battle Angel, that was a good one.
That one's okay. Alita was all right.
Watchmen. Good movie.
I like Watchmen. But, like, these aren't, like, awesome films. You know what I mean? Like, these are good films, but they're not, like...
The Simpsons movie took 15 years.
I do like The Simpsons movie. Pretty good.
It's like one of the best movies I've ever seen.
Eepa! Yeah, that's a good one.
The Irishman.
The Irishman. Did that one really have production hell?
The film had been in development since 2007.
It released when? 2019?
19.
Pretty good gap. Maybe I am wrong.
And that's one of the better mafia movies out there.
Yeah. Oh, I love The Irishman.
Yeah.
People complain it's too long, and I'm like, just be in the universe for 3 hours. Just allow the story to just wash over you. Just be there. Just stop thinking about going home. Stop thinking about everything after that. Just melt into your couch and be an Irishman for 30 hours. Like, we've talked about this before too, but God, just get so agitated. But yeah, you ready to move on? We talked about this, hit on it a little bit. Michael B. Jordan in discussion with Amazon to anchor a Creedverse, which will have film, TV shows, an anime show, a project. It's not labeled as a show or film. There's going to be films surrounding the different characters in the Creedverse, but there's going to be a project about Creed's daughter, Amara. What do you guys think about this idea? We talked earlier, and I had my spiel about these ever-expanding universes and streaming services' response to film and trying to do what they can to stay relevant. Not that they're ever going to lose relevance, but, like, they have to respond to film being as good as it has been the last 3 years. What do you guys think?
All that's kind of like a little bit overwhelming if you're like a fan of that. I'm not a big fan of like the Creed universe or whatever.
Really?
Yeah. So I probably won't be interested in something like that. But like Matt Reeves, Batman, Penguin's getting a show.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. You get a little bit of pressure to.
Well, who did they say they're casting for that?
Well, Colin Farrell is still Penguin.
They
did
casting someone else yet again for the Penguin. Promise.
Wait, in HBO Max?
Might be another Penguin.
Might be when he was younger, maybe. I don't know. Hold on. I don't know about that one. I didn't see that.
Clancy Brown. Oh, well, I guess it's not him as the
I'll better
Penguin.
say Clancy Brown is a fantastic actor, but he is not Penguin. Clancy Brown is Mr. Krabs, if you didn't know.
He's in,
for SpongeBob. He's
in
Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah.
He is Shawshank. He's the main prison guard, like the dude directly under the warden, the one that beats people up. That's Clancy Brown. Clancy Brown's a big guy, so like him being in HBO is like, in any respect, as like this gritty character. He was also in Detroit Becoming Human, the video game. He played the lead detective in that. He was awesome. Like, if you could give like these cinematic games, mark my words, in 20 years we're gonna have at the Oscars a award and section dedicated to like cinematic experience, like video games. Because Clancy Brown gave I'm not going to say it was an Oscar like worthy performance, but nominee maybe, like depending on what else could come out. Because like that, dude, go watch a playthrough of Detroit Becoming Human because Clancy Brown was fantastic in that.
Me robot flesh.
Yeah. No, he plays a detective. The whole point of Detroit is that like, have you ever seen that?
Mm-mm.
So Detroit Becoming Human's a game. It's in the distant future, and like androids have become a thing. Like they look like people, but like they have like a light in their temple, and it like shows like that they're android. But these androids become sentient, and you play as different androids throughout the game. Like,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
and so Clancy Brown's character, he's pitted like his partner. He's replaced his human partner with, or he didn't, but his agency that he works for, with an android detective, and his daughter died from an android detective. So, or an android previously. So like he's very wary of this. Like he hates him. But as the story goes on and you realize that like these androids are gaining sentience, those two become really close. So it's really cool. And there's like a whole like revolution that the androids have against humanity. And some androids are bad and want to have complete world domination, and others are like, let's just fight for our freedom as like people now. And it's so interesting, and it's really, really cool. Which is why I'm like, if you see it, whoa, I just broke my chair. Which is why if you see it and you watch it, that scared the crap out of me, not gonna lie. My armchair, I was moving and my chair went, as you heard. But anyway, if you see it, you're like, wow, like this would be a fantastic film. But then it would take away because it's so interactive, and the story is based upon your decisions. Make it like a Bandersnatch like we talked about.
Very cool.
Woohoo. But yeah, sorry, way off topic. Clancy Brown, ladies and gentlemen, in HBO's The Penguin.
The kids these days just don't have the pleasure of going to the library and getting a choose your own adventure book.
Oh,
Dog tagging
yeah.
it, flipping back and forth.
Go to
man.
page 73 if you choose this. That was fun. Like that was good
So much
times.
fun.
Yeah. Man, the libraries become obsolete. Sad times. We're old men.
I think kids still go to the library. I just think we don't.
Do you think so? I mean, unless the Scholastic Book Fair is in a school library, I don't know. I don't know anyone. I've not heard any young people like children. We're in our early 20s, by the way. You hear us talking, you probably think we're like 40.
We don't know any kids.
Yeah. I mean, I have my 9-year-old brother, but I promise you that man ain't in the store. That kid ain't in the bookstore. He ain't in the theater.
What's he doing?
iPad. Yeah. Sad times.
Yeah, we're not going to have the I word in my house.
Nope. The I word.
I'll smash it.
Your kid has like a friend come over for a sleepover. He brings an iPad, and you see like Homer Simpson busting through the door. It's just Cole breaking. Yeah, Cole breaking.
Where's it at?
Yeah. I heard it. Dad, no! Just breaking.
Throw that other kid in the wood chipper.
Oh no! Back to cinema. Okay, here we go.
You've killed my child! He had an iPad!
Hey, what of it? Just yelling at each other constantly. Oh, those things are the spawn of Satan. He's just spewing off nonsense.
My kid can have an iPad Nano for 15 minutes a day.
Cole,
So
I
he
feel
can
like
listen to
you
Come
do
On,
that.
Eileen.
You're doing that, and you're acting nonsensical to set up your insanity defense. You never break character once that happens.
Oh, it's not a character. No.
Is it not?
No. Shall we move on?
Yeah, we'll move on. Rooney Mara. I love Rooney Mara. We were talking about David Fincher and Gone Girl and Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, which is what the second is what Rooney Mara's in. Rooney Mara has been cast in Zach Kreger, who is the director of Barbarian, his next film called Weapons. What do you guys think?
Did you watch Barbarian?
I did.
I liked it.
It was a good film. I know you are a big fan specifically, Donnie, of Zach Kreger. Was it you? I thought you were the one who talked to me
I
about
don't
it.
think I ever mentioned it.
Maybe I was mistaken. Was it Jake then? Someone was telling me a lot about Kreger and that they liked him. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe it wasn't you. But anyway, what did you think about Barbarian?
I really liked it. About like the end of the first act, it just like cuts to black, and then we see Justin Long in a convertible, like singing.
Yeah.
They switched it up a lot. I really liked that. It was decently scary. I I don't know. I really liked it.
Yeah.
You see it?
Yeah, saw it in the theater.
Okay.
Yeah.
I liked how, and it was it felt like it could have been a cash grab because it's like like Airbnb horror, like they haven't done it before. It's a big thing, but it was well made. The end of the movie's a little cheesed up, but
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it definitely does touch on a cliche for sure near the end, but I enjoyed it.
But like, I am a sucker for like labyrinth horror, like things that are hidden, things that
Yeah.
are, just under your nose. I like that a lot.
Was that liminal spaces?
Something to that effect,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. For sure. Well, Backrooms is straight up liminal.
Yeah.
But what you're describing in cinema is not completely, but yes, liminal spaces hit into that subject that you're talking about.
Yeah.
Liminal spaces are scary. Like,
are.
they-
Yeah, I love them.
yeah, oh yeah.
What was that?
Which one? Describe it to me.
Jesse Eisenberg movie where he's in like a suburb.
Chris, it's
Wait.
it's the word for a glass structure.
Yeah,
where plants grow.
vivarium.
Vivarium.
Vivarium. Yeah,
Ooh, I don't know if I've seen that one.
I love it.
It's that's one of the better horrors I've seen in a while. I didn't watch it too long
The
ago.
Vivarium,
Yeah.
2019.
Jesse Eisenberg and someone else.
I'll tell you. I'll press you.
They go to the suburbs and then they try to leave and it's just endless suburbs. And they're alone in there.
Ooh. Imogen Poots is the actress.
That's her
She
name.
plays Gemma.
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 You need to watch that. It's great.
Imogen Poots. Poots is her name. Probably is like a J sound, like Imogen. Her name is Imogen Gay Poots.
Gay?
Her middle name is Gay. She is an English actress and model. She's from Hammersmith, London. I knew that this was gonna break Cole. I said it and I saw Donnie look away and I heard Cole question it.
Gay Poot.
That's her name.
Nice.
She was good in it.
She was fantastic in Vivarium from what you guys have been describing.
Give me your autograph. Not your first name, your middle name.
You get the whole name and you just erase the first name.
Get out of here.
We're not gonna have a show when we come back from spring break, I don't think. No, I'm just kidding. Cole looked up so depressed. I'm sorry, I was joking. No, it started with the shirt. It's gone downhill from there.
Some questionable things have been said today.
It's not our fault that her name is that. Is it?
I didn't name her.
Yeah, so we're just here.
Talk to Mr. Poots about that one.
She is from, where is she from? Let me look. She's from Hammersmith, London, in the UK.
Emma Smith.
Let me listen. Never mind. We'll move on. Where are we? Oh yeah, Rooney Mara. I guess I'll say this. Like, Kreger seems to be really good at like building an atmosphere. Because like when I write, what I'm more interested in is the world building. Like that's like there are authors and writers who like designate the story towards the characters and how they're interacting with everything else. Like the story comes out of the person, which is like obvious. But like I love the idea of like the characters interacting with what's going on around them. Like the idea of like the world is just as important as the people within it, rather than vice versa. Most people will prioritize like this character and every little nuance of that person. And yes, you need that. But I love the idea of world building. Does that make sense? I love the idea of like, okay, this person is this way because of the world they're in rather than they are that person. Seven is a great example of that. Mm-hmm. Like you see like Morgan Freeman's character, what's his character's name? I used to know it like off the top of my head. I can't think of it now. But his character is gruff and just hopeless and just like he is just like, it is what it is. Like he does not fazed by much. Even when he sees his partner's wife's head in the box. Yes, he's jarred, but he does not lose his composure. He turns around and he says, don't look in the box. Immediately. Like he stays in that detective mode because of the world he's in. That is what I enjoy. Like that is like the realm that I like inhabit in my writing. So I really like it when I see it. Kreger does that. Now we've only seen it in a little bit, Barbarian, but like what I liked about Barbarian is that the world that they're in is so distinctive. And I love that so much, and that's why I'm excited because like we've already talked about Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. Rooney Mara is one of those class acts, man. So you get Kreger and his world building with Rooney. I think we're gonna get a home run. Moving on. I talked about it. This next one, so we'll breeze by it. The Last of Us, 8.1 million viewers on its 8th episode. Another landmark. It just keeps getting better. I'm a little worried with how this last episode's gonna go because I think I read somewhere that it's supposed to be a little shorter than the others, and they still got a lot of stuff to go through. I'm kind of worried they're going to rush through it, which would be kind of tragic to go 8 episodes in and have it be as great as it is just to have a rushed ending, like jump off that cliff. I would be really sad if it just like if the bandwagon just fell. I hope it's fast paced. I hope it's done well, which I have faith. I'm a little worried. So, but we'll move on past that really quickly. Cole, I don't know why. I don't know if you're a fan of this franchise, but I thought you'd enjoy it. I think you'd enjoy it. The Poltergeist franchise is reportedly getting a reboot.
Hey, I like Poltergeist.
I thought you would.
Yeah.
So hit me up with what you think of this point.
They've rebooted it how many times?
A lot.
Well, yeah, several times.
A lot. But it's happening again.
There is well, actually, not really. They did a couple sequels in the 80s, and then they did a 2015 Poltergeist.
I said the 15 was a reboot.
Yeah. And the 15, I think, was met with like a lot of criticism, but I thought it was a good movie. And everyone, the original one was such a big part of the zeitgeist of horror.
Yeah.
That, oh god, yeah, the remake has like a 29% on Rotten Tomatoes, a 22% audience score. But I thought it was okay.
See, I didn't see the reboot.
Yeah. But the original is really it's a great film.
Oh, it's a cult classic.
Oh yeah.
Donnie, do you have any experience with the Poltergeist franchise?
I don't. Was
Really?
the first one Spielberg? Was it?
I don't think so. Hold on, let me look.
Why does that sound right though?
I don't think it was, but we'll see. It might be.
Totally.
It is it's a Spielberg screenplay. Wow. Very impressive. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
He wrote the screenplay for it. But when you watch it, I guess that does make sense. It maybe.
Same guy that directed Salem's Lot, 1979.
Huh. The more you know. I didn't know all this. I like the original. The original's I mean, like we just described, it's a cult classic for a reason. I had no idea Spielberg was attached to that.
I thought I heard that.
Do you bring Spielberg back?
That'd be for a reboot?
Yeah.
I mean, he's not doing anything.
I mean, it would
He
be
should.
what the Friday the 13th franchise is doing. They're bringing back their like 2 different projects by 2 different production companies, but one's bringing back the original writer and the other's bringing back the original director. So it's like I like this trend of like bringing back the minds that made it what it was. Maybe, hopefully. Cole?
Really, it's hard for me to really get excited over horror reboots because, like, we need some new horror. Like Barbarian. There's just not a lot of good original horror coming out.
I'm going to hate to say this, but I'm going to tell you, man. Megan's going to be around for a while. Megan is going to be like that. I know. But it's going to be.
I mean, it's new.
Yeah. It is new. That's the point. Like, I don't know. Like, Megan was a miss. I mean, people love it, but I don't know. It wasn't for me.
It's got a 93 on Rotten Tomatoes.
Megan does?
Yeah.
It was so close to being really good. I don't know why. Like if you liked it, I understand. The story wasn't bad, but it was enjoyable, but I don't think it's a 90% at all.
What's the hype in horror right now? Like The Menu, I guess, was kind of like
It was a thriller. It wasn't a horror.
thing.
That was like a psychological, like, almost, it was a character study, but we've talked about The Menu.
Skinamarink.
That one I've been dying to see. Kyle
Yeah,
Edward
me too.
Ball, 15 grand production. Dude, there's something about that magic number. Paranormal Activity, the original, was 15 grand. We need to get a 15 grand grant and make our own. We'll stick in the realm of horror before. I'm going to skip one and then come back to it real quick because we were already hitting an hour. The new Alien film in the works at 20th Century Studios cast Isabella. I swear, I think autocorrect again. Her name is Mercedes, I think, or Mercedes or whatever. Mercedes of Transformers: The Last Night. She will star alongside Cole. You're blocking me again. I'm sorry. Kaylee Spaney. The film is directed by Fede Alvarez and will release on Hulu.
Nice.
See, we're talking about reboots. Any thoughts on the Alien?
I guess the biggest names are Ridley Scott and Sigourney Weaver. Not involved, it seems.
Yeah, I mean it's going straight to Hulu. I will say, Prey, that Predator movie that they released on Hulu was really good, very original. So there's hope. And I don't dislike, like Isabella's a good actress. To be fair, The Last Night was a very bad movie. Like the Transformers 4 and 5 just kind of, those were cash grabs.
Did you watch it?
Yeah, dude. I was into Transformers before I was into Star Wars as a kid. Like Transformers came out when I was like 7, and I was all over that. So like I watched growing up just as a nostalgia thing. I watched all the Transformers movies. So since we have nothing much to say about it, I'll go ahead and move on. This one I like a lot. The first trailer and poster for Owen Wilson's led Paint, a Bob Ross-inspired film, has been dropped. He has the afro. He is on TV talking in the same very calm, very relaxing voice. He does not play Bob Ross. He plays Carl Nargle, and it looks like a trip. I'm really worried that they're going to screw it up. It is IFC. It released April 7th. IFC is hit or miss. Like, they come out with some pretty good stuff. Other times it's like, bleh. It looks like a spoof. It looks like it'll be really funny. But if they kind of make fun of the whole Bob Ross thing, I'm going to be real sad.
Yeah, me too.
He means a lot to a lot of people.
Yeah. And to kind of poke fun at it would be a disjustice. So hopefully that is not what's happening.
You know, I saw Jason Segel as David Foster Wallace in a clip the other day, whatever movie it was. And it was like, it was good, but I hate when it's like still obviously like a very famous actor.
Yeah.
Trying to play another famous person. It's like.
Yeah. Like, who was Tom Hanks? He was Mr. Rogers. Like, that one was like, or was it, what was that film called? It's a Wonderful Day in the Neighborhood. Like, that was fine. It was all right, but it's just Tom Hanks. You know, you don't really see Mr. Rogers. You see Tom. It kind of takes away from the point.
I didn't realize that movie with Foster Wallace came out in 2015.
Really?
Wow, yeah.
Who distributed that? Who was the production company behind that one? If you can find it. If not, we do need to get rolling on these last few tidbits.
I'm not sure. I can't find it.
No, it's okay. So moving on. John Boyega. We're getting into the really interesting stuff here. I'm very excited about these last few tidbits of news. So hold on. Hold on to your seats because this is a beefy little paragraph of text I got to read. Thank you, Donnie, for that, for holding on. John Boyega is headed back to the realm of sci-fi as he has been cast in a new sci-fi romantic thriller titled The Freshening. Kathy Yan of Birds of Prey fame is set to write and direct. The film is directly inspired by the Rachel Khong short story of the same name, published in the Paris Review. The story follows a near future where racial tensions have reached a violent climax, forcing the U.S. government to take action. They release a public health campaign called The Freshening, in which individuals are given an injection that stops a person from seeing others as different race or even genders. They only see people of the same race and gender as themselves. Boyega will play the character known as Reese, as he and a character named Sam must decide whether or not to put an end to this drug that, quote, promises a chance to see the world as it really is. That is from Empire Online. Fascinating.
Yeah, for sure.
Fascinating.
Wow.
It's such a cool concept.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's scary because, like, in the near future, I hope that we don't have racial tensions like that. But I love the idea that, like, because you got to think. You're talking about different perspectives. We talked about it before the podcast and on the podcast. Think about how these two characters of Boyega and whoever plays Sam, because Boyega's Reese, maybe their point of view whenever you're following them, the other actor as that character looks like themselves. That's wild. So you'll never see these two together. They'll always be like they will be together as characters, but when you're Boyega, like watching Boyega's perspective, he's with someone else that like he might be like acting with himself. Like he would just play both roles, and vice versa for the other actor that plays Sam. Like that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
I don't know, like the idea, and then they have to decide because essentially, from what I was reading, like this drug, the freshening drug, becomes just like a street drug. And they have to decide whether or not they want to like try to fight it. Thoughts.
It's a really cool concept. I
Yeah.
think. Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
I'm gonna see that for sure.
What was her name? Hold on, I just had it. The original author, Rachel, was it Kong? Yeah. Shout out to Rachel Kong and her. Or it's a short story. Like that's so unique. It's so cool. I don't know how new it is. It could be old, but like that's so cool. All right, we ready to move on? All right, cool. So here's another one. A teaser trailer for the Seth Rogen produced Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem dropped earlier this week. I showed Donnie before the show, and we both were pretty excited about it. The film stars Micah Abbey as Donnie, Shaman Brown Jr. as Mickey, Nicholas Cantu as Leo, and Brady Noon as Raph. Rogen himself will play Bebop, and John Cena will play Rocksteady. That is not the end of our casting list here, as I decide now to go and pull it up because I have it saved here on my phone. Give me just like 2 seconds, and I will tell you. It's here in 3. There we go. Other people in the film will include Hannibal Buress as Genghis Frog. I love that character so much. Ice Cube is Superfly. Giancarlo Esposito as Baxter Stockman. Post Malone as Ray Fillet. Paul Rudd as Mondo Gecko. And Maya Rudolph as Cynthia Outram, sorry. Big cast here. I love Seth Rogen as a producer. That was something we talked about with The Boys. And what was the other one?
Preacher.
Preacher, yes. He can do it. Very good in the
Yeah, he can.
producer's chair.
This will be big, I think. Now seeing what the Turtles are going to look like and with all these names, I think this will be like people will want this iteration of the Turtles to, reboots.
Yes.
It looks good. Nickelodeon. Yeah.
Nickelodeon movies aren't bad. Like when they decide to actually put money into them. Not all of them are home runs, but like they're not bad.
And the animation style.
Yes.
We saw it's like that comic book style.
Yeah.
I love that.
There's a scene.
Spider-Verse.
Yeah,
It's
like
called
that, yeah.
like fairy tale animation, I think is what it's called, or storybook animation, something to that effect. The best part of the whole trailer, which really I think sets the mood for what the movie's going to be and why I think we're all excited for it. In the trailer, Raph throws one of his sais and it bounces off something and stabs Donatello in like the leg. And he just starts screaming at it, and Leo turns and goes, "I think I'm gonna faint." And like they're all freaking out because they're kids. Like that's what I love about it, is that they're children, which is like we've not seen that before. Like we've always seen like the story of like they touch the goo and then they'd become, or the ooze or whatever. They make a joke about that.
Yeah, they do.
But like they touch the radioactive ooze and then they become what they are. But you always see kind of the end product. You never quite see like what got them to where they are. They always are teenagers, but they're never kids. So it's like they're 13, 14, raw. This is their first experience out in the real world. Like it's so cool. Another thing that we commented on that wasn't even listed on the thing I was reading about from the Geekster. Jackie Chan was also given credit at the end of the trailer. Splinter.
Gotta be.
I mean, he could be Shredder, but I think he'll be Splinter.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be gnarly.
Oh, yeah.
Gonna be such a good film. Especially with Seth Rogen's sense of humor kind of backing it. I think it's perfect.
Do we see Splinter in the trailer?
No.
I love him.
Yeah.
I love the Turtles, man.
I think we all can collectively say we grew up. There was that one iteration that came out when I was like 12. I think me and Cole were 12. You were probably, 10?
10 or 11.
10 or 11?
Yeah.
On Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
With the best theme of any Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles of all time. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Yeah.
Teenage Mutant
Oh,
Turtles.
such a good show.
Man, that show was actually really good. I used to I was like 10 or 11 and I was chewing on the McDonald's toys.
Yeah.
Get that Happy Meal. That was a really good show. The live action, do people regard that as like good or bad?
I like them. The old ones? Yeah, I watched those as a kid too. I mean, they're probably notoriously hated, but I loved them as a child. They were goofy, is what they were. They're hilarious.
They had Megan Fox in them.
Oh, you talking about the Michael Bay ones? I'm talking about the ones
Yeah.
from the 90s.
Oh, those?
Uh-huh.
I had one of those on VHS.
Uh-huh.
Those movies are crazy.
I
man.
love them. As a
Remind me
kid,
of
I
the
loved them a
Mario
lot.
movie.
Yeah. As a kid, fantastic. The Michael Bay ones are not good.
They're like, we're going to get the dirtiest alley in New York City.
Yeah.
There's like toxic gas coming out of the vents or whatever. We're going to film this nasty movie in
Yep.
this nasty place.
As a kid, I also loved Power Rangers. And so when the turtles would just pop up out of the sewers in these nasty, what did you just, alleyway?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I mean, it was awesome. Can you imagine being like a mixed martial artist and they're like, now put the suit on. It's just a giant turtle. And then you're just out there like trying to, for those who aren't watching on YouTube, I just tried to do my best karate moves. It was very bad.
It was good.
No, it wasn't. Don't even, I just saw myself on camera. I looked about as white as I am. You don't, if you've never seen my face and you watch me on YouTube, you can probably guess how white I am. It's pretty bad. Pretty white. I glow.
Yeah.
In the dark. Yeah.
Is that
Fun fact.
really?
Yeah.
Bioluminescence, huh?
My whiteness just protrudes out of me. I have very freckly arms too.
Ginger beard.
Oh yeah.
Do you sunburn real bad?
Oh yeah. I've actually, as I've gotten older, I tan out a little bit. Believe it or not. When I was a kid, I was a lobster. I will still lobster up, but a day or two later, it'll be like nice and tan, which is new development in the life of Ryan Gumm.
Evolution.
I know, right? Like I'm adapting, like on the fly. Crazy stuff.
I can't wait till we get the rest of our frontal lobes. 25, man. That'll be great.
Oh yeah. Then once we hit 25, then every day is just one day closer to death. You know, you stop growing and you're just an adult.
I'm ready for it. I'm tired of being.
I've got 3 years, baby.
Yeah. Do you still feel like an adolescent?
I wouldn't say that. Like I'm in this weird stage where like I feel like I'm an adult. Like I act like an adult. I live by myself. Like I don't really talk to my parents all that much. But like I was at my mom's like a couple months ago and it just hit me. I could get a cat whenever I wanted. Like it's so dumb, but like I don't have like I could just get a cat. Like I could walk into a shelter right now and they'd be like driver's license, like a boom, and they'd be like, here you go, here's your cat. That's like, you know, like little things like that. You're an adult, you're an acting adult, and then you realize like I can do these things and nobody can tell me no. Does that make sense? Like that's when I feel like an adolescent, when I can be like, tee, like I can do these things.
Mm-hmm.
Man,
I'm sorry.
the life of a young adult.
The life of a young adult. The life of Cole Ballinger is a young adult, because all I was thinking about when you were talking about getting a cat, I was thinking about different ways that I could like make a joke about eating a cat that you get at a shelter. Like they shouldn't give out these animals willy-nilly, because there's a lot of people hungry.
Yeah.
Like I think it goes on a lot more than you think. Is all I'm saying.
Did we just solve world hunger?
No, we did not. We did not.
They're like,
we did
puppy
not.
mills are such a
Relax,
bad thing.
relax. We did not.
They're
We
turning
did
out
not.
lots of meat, baby.
We're not. We do not condone eating animals on beyond the screen. There's so many different realms that I thought this was gonna do. I'm not even gonna explain half of where I thought this was gonna go. The second you opened your mouth and said something about anything, I thought this is not making the show. Then you went the route you did, and it's probably still going to be in the show, but now it's just going to be mass confusion, which is part of what we are, part of the brand, I guess.
I mean, you're good at Adobe Premiere. You can just cut.
No, I'm
the
not
parts
doing
you
that.
don't like.
I'm not doing that. No, because then it takes away the authenticity that you guys seem to love. No, I love what just happened. It's just so many different realms.
I think it's like the second time I've talked about eating it. Like,
Have you a cat
maybe.
on the show?
Maybe.
When was the last time?
I don't know.
We haven't talked about
I
eating a
don't
cat.
I don't think I'd eat a cat, but I'd definitely try dog.
No.
They say it's good.
No.
I try it once. I'd eat horse.
Okay, I can say, I think we've all like I know I haven't chosen to, but I think we've all probably had it sometime in our life. We all eat hot dogs. I'm sure there's probably like some horse in there.
I swear I've never had a bite of horse.
No, that's what I'm saying is that like I would say, if you asked me, I would say no, but like there could be anything in that stuff. You know what I mean? Like there really could be horse. There really could be horse mixed in with your bologna. Like you don't know. You know what I mean? Like what's the big thing? People are like, do you know what's in that? And you're like, no, I don't, and I don't want to know. As you continue eating your hot dog, You know what I'm saying? Like there could be horse in there.
I don't like hot dogs all that much, but I think I'd enjoy the hot dog more if I
I'm
knew there was a little
probably eating a hot dog this afternoon.
horse in there.
You would eat it more?
They look good. They're good-looking animals.
You're just here for the experience, though. You're not like, I want to eat a horse because I think it looks scrumptious. You're like, I want to try it because of the experience.
I think it looks scrumptious.
You think a horse looks scrumptious?
It looked pretty good to me, yeah. Look at me some nice lean meat. Like nice red, dark, like lean meat.
Interesting.
Sear it up.
Interesting.
I mean, the Europeans, a lot of people eat horse. Man, a lot of people eat horse.
I mean, horse is more fair, I guess, than some of the other stuff. Like a dog and a cat, nah. You can't eat those. Cannot.
Well, if you were to eat one breed, what would it be?
Of what?
Dog.
None. I just told you I would
If
never
you
eat.
had to.
Like, I don't know. Well, I would want, Survival Guide 101. It has to be thick boy.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Like, but that's as far as I'll go. I can't say a breed. I love dogs too much. You're talking to a guy who can't eat red meat. I can't eat a cow, like, because it makes me sick.
For the cow?
No, my body, I throw it back up. Like if I eat a hamburger, I will be in the bathroom for the night, like a throwing up. Like my body just does not accept it. So like I can't I don't know if that's like persuading me because like I only eat like chicken and fish.
I think a cat is not red meat.
I'm still not eating a cat.
That's like fish and chicken.
Man, when you say cat, all I think about is like cuddling that thing. You know what I mean? I ain't eating what I cuddle.
What about a straight up puma?
A puma? Big cat? Maybe.
Big cat.
I think about a big cat. If I was like stranded and I had like a spear and I had to eat, I'd think about eating a big cat for sure.
Yeah.
Come here, leopard.
Wear its pelt.
Yeah, I'd look pretty cool. Although leopard print is not good.
You know what's funny? Joe Exotic was on all this Tiger King. He didn't wear a tiger skin.
Not once. He sure did kill a lot of them.
Yeah, why didn't he? You would think like Joe Exotic would be the one guy.
Because then it'd be too obvious that he's obviously killing these animals.
Yeah.
They'd be like, Joe, where'd you get those? And he'd be like, you know what I mean? He'd be like, Gucci? And Gucci's like, nah, dude, nah.
Gucci.
Lies. I think it's time to move on. We've gone off the deep end.
That was a wild one too.
I know.
Yeah.
I think that might be the worst one yet. We just have random moments of like straight psychosis. And then we come back to reality. We as a collective.
I think these are the questions that we should be asking.
Yeah? I mean, we sure explored it pretty heavily.
What dog breed would you eat, Donnie?
I can't pick a dog breed.
Same. See, okay. I'm not the only one. I'm gonna regret asking this.
Border Collie?
No, I did not say that. I said I'm gonna regret asking this. I have a border collie. I wouldn't eat a border collie. I was gonna ask you what breed would you eat? A border collie?
Pit bull.
You'd eat a pit bull?
Yeah.
I'm on board with that.
Yeah.
With eating a pit bull?
Yeah.
For why?
Why? One broke my nose.
Oh.
Yeah.
Revenge.
Bit me right here.
Donnie's like I'm like, if I had to, it'd be fat. Donnie's like, revenge.
Generalizing the whole pit bull.
One broke my nose, so I'd eat that thing. Like, that's so over the top. I mean, how did it break your nose?
I sneezed.
Everybody
Everybody laughs when I say that.
You sneezed and it got mad?
It was deaf. I sneezed. Bit my nose.
But if it's deaf, how did it know you sneezed?
You probably just saw me do that, I
Like
sneezed
lunge
very
forward,
loud,
and that
yeah.
thing said attack. Like I'm like, or defend. I guess I'm under attack.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
So you'd eat a pit bull because of that?
No, I wouldn't. I'd let Cole. I myself, no.
Well, okay, that's fair. Man, so you would eat a pit bull?
I mean, not whole, like not a whole.
Well, that's not what I'm asking. Not if you'd eat a whole one.
Like 6-ounce cut. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Cooked well. I mean, it wouldn't be raw.
I'm not saying raw either.
I'd make some nice like street tacos probably. Like carne asada.
You're thinking way too deep into this.
What about that Scream 6, y'all?
Here we go. Okay. We're going to breeze through this because we're ending our show on these notes. Aaron Taylor Johnson, which we talked about, is now cast and rounds out the star-studded cast of Robert Eggers' Nosferatu remake. The that is heavily in production now. We talk about it every time we have a show because there's always some little bit of news about it. But dude, exciting. Like, I'm just so ready for this film. Just give me Nosferatu, like right now. I don't care. Like, give me whatever you want of it. Like, it's going to be so good. Thoughts?
You know, I haven't seen The Witch, right?
Yes.
This has Anya Taylor-Joy in it, right?
It did originally, but she departed. And so she like left the project. It was going to be her and Harry Styles. But then both of those two left and they were replaced originally. Like, so I don't think they were the same characters, but those were the two originally. Mm-hmm. Those two left, and then Bill Skarsgård and Lily Rose Depp were cast.
Okay.
I don't think they're going to be the same characters, but those were the two that were like immediately cast when those two left.
I feel like he's going to do good on it.
Yes.
Robert, yeah. I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
And it's almost like Eggers had to make a Nosferatu.
Dude, he's been talking about that for years. As soon as he got done with The Northman, he was like, Nosferatu?
You know, I talked about Salem's Lot earlier. Y'all do a quick Google search of the Salem's Lot vampire. And that's what I hope Count Orlok will look like.
Hold on, I'm looking. Oh. The glowing eyes, bald looking dude?
Yeah. That's the best cinematic vampire is Salem's Lot.
I feel like that's more like if vampires were to be real, that's what they would look like. Like why would their canines be long? Like, so if you don't know what the Salem's Lot vampire looks like, for those watching on YouTube or for those watching on or listening on Spotify, and I might put this up on YouTube if I can remember to do it. The teeth, it's the two like buck teeth.
Yeah,
like
front teeth,
yeah. Like it looks like he has buck teeth, but those are like the fangs. It makes a lot more sense because like that would be like you bite and then you slurp. You know, you wouldn't like bite here. It makes no practical sense.
Yeah.
So like if you're talking about vampires, I like that a lot, and I agree with you.
That's how Orlok was in Nosferatu.
The original.
Yeah, he had those.
He did, didn't
those
he?
teeth, yeah.
I want to see. Look, was it in the front? Yeah, it was in the front. But his were like, so he had like the long two front teeth, but then he had like gaps and no teeth here, and like long teeth here on the canines.
But the Salem's Lot, Barlow is the vampire's name. He's got some like they go down to his chin. They're long.
Yeah, they're huge. Like he can't close his mouth type.
Yeah. I love vampires.
They're cool. They mess with me a little bit because like I have a thing against like the neck. Like anytime I see like something happen there, I have a pointy neck, like a long neck. I'm a pencil neck, not gonna lie. So anytime I see something happen, I'm like, ugh. Like I relate because those people, my neck long.
Have I told either of you about the time I came into contact with a vampire?
Yeah, you told me that, and I
feel
don't
like
think you can. I don't
It's
think you
not
can.
on there.
Yeah.
And we're not
Or
talking
say,
about that one.
I can't. Yeah, I feel like you have told me that, and I was about to say if it's the same story that I'm remembering, we might have to do like a not safe for work episode.
Yeah, you cannot say it here.
Yeah, your grandma warned you about
Yeah,
vampires. Yeah.
That's the one.
Yeah, I know that is the one. Yeah, I guess little sneak peeks maybe one day. It won't be on the Eastern Progress. Anywho, the last thing we got. Well, I guess I should finish the Nosferatu with this. The films will star obviously Taylor Johnson, Lily Rose Depp, as we said, Bill Skarsgård, Nicholas Hoult, Willem Dafoe, and Emma Corrin, which is star-studded. Gonna be fantastic. Moving on. Neither of us have seen Scream 6, or not any of us, I should say. We're watching it next time we show up on camera. We will have watched it. But Scream 6, a plethora of great reviews from critics to people I know personally who have gone and seen it. Everyone says it's a fantastic film. I've heard one person say that the twist and like who it was kind of obvious, but like it still throws you for so many loops that you question even your own decisions. So like that has me really hyped. The film rolls in as the third highest rated in the franchise at 78% on Rotten Tomatoes. The two above are Scream 2 at 82%, and then the original Scream at 80%. So it goes Scream 2, 82, Scream 1980, or no, when was the original one? 1996, I think? Whatever. The original Scream at 80%, and then this one now, Scream 6 at 78%.
It seems to me that although it's a really good movie, and this is reviews that I found, the biggest caveat is that it doesn't do anything new.
It's just Scream?
Falls into the same tropes, yeah, but it says that it does the characters really well.
See, here's the thing. There's only so much you can do with Scream. Like, Ghostface is Ghostface. It's always going to be the same trope of, like, who is it? You know, like, you can't really do much else outside of that. Like, the whole point of this was Wes Craven, who did Nightmare on Elm Street. The whole point of the Scream franchise originally was it was a satire. It's goofy. At some point, it switched. Like, I'd say around Scream 3 is when it went from being, like, the first two were for sure satire. Scream 3, a little bit satirical, but much more like scary. Then 4 was completely spooky. And then 5 and 6, the reboot. I don't want to call them reboots, but they essentially are. The newer ones are straight up horror, like scary. They're not really satirical in any way. It's thriller almost. What can you do, though, to make it unique? Like, this is an open question to audience. Leave comments, you two. What can you do to make it original? Like, what else can you do?
Take off the mask and the guy's face looks exactly like it.
She's got another mask on.
Yeah.
It's like when you have two sunglasses and you take it off and it's the same.
Yeah.
He removes the mask and it's just another ghost face mask.
I mean, I could think of a really, really strange one.
Okay.
Is it Ghostface Killer? Like they capture him and then he's like a national celebrity, like interviewing him. And then,
Yeah.
I don't know. Kills the interviewer and then he escapes.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's in a television studio or something.
Ghostface can be a she.
Yeah.
Have because there are voice modifiers. Like make it to where it's not, because like every Scream has like the similar voice on the phone. It's very distinctive. Just make it like a voice modifier and you can't tell who it is. Like maybe it sounds more masculine, but it's actually like one of the leads.
Ghostface on a plane.
That'd be super interesting.
Ghostface.
Shut up.
I didn't say anything.
You looked at me. You
just
smiled.
looking.
I said interesting, and you looked at me and laughed.
I didn't say anything about it.
You wanted to. I could see it.
Mm-mm.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Ghostface at the zoo.
Interesting.
Just hiding with the rhinos, and he's just like, "I see you."
He's in a ball pit at the Chuck E. Cheese.
Endless possibilities.
Honestly, though, listen. You say Chuck E. Cheese. We talked about Five Nights at Freddy's not too long ago. Like imagine you're stuck in like a kid's place like that, and you're being hunted by Ghostface.
You're at the Chuck E. Cheese getting hunted by the rat. That big.
Yes, even better. We're just making Five Nights at Freddy's. No, there are things you can do, but it's just I think it's tough because they're 6. You know, like what else you gonna do?
You know, Courtney Cox is in this one.
Will she die? Or her character just finally kicked the bucket, man?
Yeah.
Like,
she was in the first one.
Uh-huh.
But she was just the reporter, right?
Yep.
She didn't really have much to do with it.
She had, I think her character, I need to rewatch the first one. Hold on.
Fan or something.
She was like, she helps not capture him, but she was like, her character had a lot of plot. She wasn't like the main character. Yeah, I'm very intrigued. I'm going to watch this film. And like we were talking about, like it's going to fall into those tropes because it's so hard to move. Like once you've kind of set these parameters, it's like, it's the same thing with all these like big franchises. Like what's Chucky going to do to make himself more original? He's a doll. Like what's Jason Voorhees going to do? Like, you know, at some point he is what he is and you watch it for that. So like, I understand why there's some negatives to that. And there are definitely more creative ways to go about it.
Let's make one called Jason Kills the President.
That sounds so much like a Jason X or like a Jason Goes to New York.
Wouldn't that be so cool?
That'd be hilarious, but like, I don't think it'd be good.
Like Jason versus the Secret Service.
I've got it. Okay, you ready for this? Jason versus Cocaine Bear.
Oh.
The most dangerous animal in the world for 15 minutes versus Jason Voorhees himself.
Very cool. Dude, that bear, he showed no
she.
mercy.
There's a she.
She.
Yeah.
And her
Had
children.
cubs.
Yeah. Have you heard the real story behind that?
I mean,
Behind Cocaine Bear?
yeah.
So Cocaine Bear, the stuffed animal, is in Lexington.
Yeah.
Okay? The real story, not the movie. You just did that on camera. That's so funny. Anyway, sorry. You just watch him dip on YouTube. Anyway, we have to stop soon. Hour and a half rolling. Anywho, the this dude was traveling from Mexico on an illegal cocaine run, and he had his like radio on, and he accidentally intercepted transmissions over the radio from a nearby U.S. military air base, and they said, "Yeah, we'll shoot it down." And he said, "Oh!" So he was with a guy who had no idea they were transporting cocaine. He threw the bags out, threw a parachute on this dude who had no idea what was going on, and just pushed him. And then the guy, the smuggler, jumped out. The smuggler's parachute did not go off. Like, it malfunctioned, and he landed in this old man's front lawn. And the other dude, his parachute worked, and he landed, and he was eventually found. But the bags dropped in, I think it was Georgia or in Tennessee forest. And this bear was hungry, and it walked up, and it tore open the bag and ate a little bit and said, good. Ate the rest of it for 5 minutes. Maybe not even that. For 5 minutes, it was the most dangerous animal on the planet because it was astronomically high. It ate pounds of cocaine. Ran straight forward. Its heart proceeded to explode, and it just collapsed.
How far did it run?
Like a couple hundred yards, maybe. Like it got a good ways, but not like anything like you'd be like, whoa. Like, they found the bear, and then they found the bags pretty closely after because they were still somewhat close together. That's the whole cocaine bear story. And they made a movie out of this.
You know, I bet there's a lot of people that were like, oh, this is based on true events. So they think the bear actually ate all those people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Fun fact, it did not.
Yeah.
A hunter found it laying dead in the field. The thing did nothing. It ate the bag, and the most damage it did was to the bag itself. And then it just ran forward on just the highest anything's ever been
I
ever.
thought that movie was just wrong. It has kids doing coke.
Oh my God, it does.
Yeah.
There's some kids doing coke.
It was wrong. Like, it just made me feel weird to watch that.
Yeah.
And they like do it, like they eat it, right? Mm-hmm. And then like they're not affected by it at all. They eat like a mouthful.
I'm pretty sure that's fatal. Isn't eating cocaine fatal?
They spit it out. But
Did they?
Still,
Yeah.
Like if you had cocaine in your mouth, like, and you're a child, it's gonna do something to you.
Like, they had it like on a knife, and everybody in the theater was like, no. Like,
Oh no, you can eat it. It just the effects take much slower. Like they don't take hold as quick because it takes longer to enter the bloodstream. So I guess you'd be fine.
That's why you smoke it, kids.
You don't do that either. You don't do anything with cocaine. No cocaine. They don't have DARE anymore. Did you know that?
no.
There's no more DARE. We'll be your DARE. DARE was a drug program for elementary school kids. Yeah, in Kentucky, they would bring in a detective. I don't know if this was a national thing. I don't know how they did it in other states, but they would bring in like a cop, and he'd do like a program every week, once a week, or maybe once a month, and he'd be like, drugs bad, and then he'd just leave.
What was the DARE stand? What did it stand for?
It's an acronym here. I can tell. DARE acronym meaning drug abuse resistance education. If that doesn't scream 2000 early 2010s, then I don't know, late 90s even.
Cool mascot.
Yeah, they had a lion.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a lion wearing a black T-shirt in like scribble font that said DARE.
That's the reason it was a lion. They asked us if we doing drugs, and we lying.
Yeah. He's not lying. He's not lying either. That is what it was. Yeah. Man, cocaine bear and DARE. What a way to end this episode. This might be one of our best episodes, no lie. Thank you guys so much for watching. Final thoughts, anybody?
I don't condone eating horses, cats, dogs, or any other domesticated animals.
Or drugs.
Or drugs.
Yeah, that's also the no-go. Cole?
Go watch John Wick 4 and Scream 6 in theaters.
As you can hear the theme enter again. Yep, that's it for us today. I don't really have any final thoughts other than this episode has been a weird, not even a daydream. This has been just like a fever dream. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm Ryan Gumm. That's Donovan Lainhart. That's Cole Ballinger. We'll see you guys. Hopefully you'll hear us next week. See ya.